Seems we're continuing with this downward trend, going from a three-figure view to a single figure who has an armored mode and a little Battlemaster interlude to just a single figure, which really isn't something I've done since GDO Swerve, who was also a truck, oddly enough. Anyways, this seems like it'll be a fun return to form, so let's get right on into it. Now, before I get to Earthrise Hoist, I do want to take a quick look at a couple of Hoist's previous toys. I mean, the original G1 release and the Thrilling 30 figure. So, the G1 figure was released in 1985 with the whole second group of Autobot cars. And he was just green Trailbreaker with a new head and a towing apparatus instead of the canopy. And the Thrilling 30 Deluxe was kind of the same thing, just with more modern engineering and an alt mode that wasn't an old Toyota pickup. Just a new head, but instead of the whole towing apparatus, he had a small crane that could fold up into a gun for robot mode. Now, Earthrise Hoist here switches up a bit, as he isn't a remolded Trailbreaker. Trailbreaker is a remold of him. Other than that, he's pretty much a prime example of what people would call G1 with knees, although I feel like a better term for it would be G1 with modern engineering, but that doesn't really roll off the tongue. So, this is the first Hoist toy to have a cartoon-accurate black head instead of his usual green one, like all of the other previous toys have. And it looks really good. It pops a lot more, especially with the bright orange and white of the backpack. The head itself is essentially just a cube with trapezoids attached on all sides, which is fine. The face looks really good too, with the gunmetal faceplate differentiating it from the black of the helmet, and the ocean blue visor looking like a pair of stylish sunglasses, going from a more neutral sadness to a very "I'll kill you, evil rage" with just the tilt of a head. And speaking of tilts, the articulation here is actually pretty good. The panel that's on allows him to look down some more, and the ball joint allows for some pretty good movement. So the torso is appropriately chunky, with his windshield monopec and the entire truck hood gut that the design has going on. And, well, it looks like he might have some weight to him because of those things. He really doesn't. The entire inner torso is empty, and it's all propped up on one single strut, the top third of which is clear plastic. And on the topic of clear plastic, pretty much the entire torso section is clear plastic. And that could be a real problem in a couple years' time. I mean, none of them are weight-bearing or excessively tight, but still something to be cautious of. Now, the few parts that aren't clear plastic, the kind of head panel that the head sits on, and the backpack are fine. I mean, the backpack itself is just the towing equipment from truck mode, and it gives him his traditional kind of back fins and his back-mounted headlamp thing. The backpack doesn't do much, and the only thing it does limit is the waist articulation from going a full 360, but I don't think that's really necessary for him. The arms are fine. I mean, they look the part with their blocky form and plethora of details, and the articulation on them is pretty good too, with full rotations at the wrists and biceps, and an elbow that goes well over 90 degrees. The outward movement at the shoulder is pretty good as well, but then you get the forward and back movement, and it's a little funky. That's because these arm panels here are the shoulder joint, which means they move with the arm. They're not hindered, but it just looks really weird when you bring his arm out. And I get that they're accurate and all, but again, it just looks weird. Now, he does come with this like gun tool hand accessory thing that you can put into either of his hands to give him his classic kind of gun arm, which is cool and all, cool accessory, but why is it orange? I mean, I don't really care either way what color it is, but it's never been orange. It's usually either the color of his forearm or green or silver, but now it's orange for some reason. These legs are extremely good, if not a little basic. Just chunks of white and green plastic divided up by these orange kneecaps. Just like the arms, they are very well detailed and articulated, with fully articulated hips, tight thigh swivels, double jointed knees, and some killer ankle tilt. And he pretty much nails it in the height department too, coming in at a whopping 14.7 centimeters. And here he is next to Siege Optimus, Siege Selects Smokescreen, Siege Starscream, Transformers 2007 Long Arm, and my last review, Galaxy Upgrade Optimus Prime. And that's about it for Route Mode, to be honest. It isn't perfect, and quite possibly a ticking time bomb, but it is probably as close as we were going to get for a G1 Hoist figure for quite a long time, and that's fine by me, to be honest. Transformation's pretty simple. It all revolves around that main torso stem, and then you just hide all the other appendages underneath the truck panels. The only kind of annoying part is getting all the back parts lined up correctly, but that isn't even that bad once you've done it a couple times. Truck mode, as you can tell, is pretty much just the G1 figures, but modern. It's a super angular 4-screen pickup truck with neon orange tow equipment in the back, even though you can't really tow anyone around with it. I mean, it does use the new airlock system, so you can attach them to base formers like Ironworks. Obviously, he does have backwards compatibility with Siege, having some 5mm ports on the back of the truck, so you can arm him up with any weapons you have, or attach some more character-appropriate equipment. He rolls okay, just barely having enough clearance, considering how low the arms hang down, especially the hands. If you don't rotate them around, they'll just scrape across the ground. Now, as far as size in this mode, he compacts down fairly well to a respectable 11.7 centimeters, and here he is with Siege Optimus, Select Smokescreen, Siege Starscream, 07 Long Arm, and Galaxy Upgrade Optimus Prime. Now that's about it for Hoist, just a solid update to the original G1 design, even if it could turn into a clear plastic time bomb in the next 5 to 10 years. But let's see how he stacks up against the rest of the crew. Now, I'm putting him right smack dab in the middle at number 4, right in between classics Astro Train and Battle Trap. He is good, like I said, but he doesn't do anything that really impresses me like Battle Trap and everyone above him does. If you disagree, that's fine. You could hit me up on Twitter at Mythic Gears. Tell me about your ranking and how it's different. Or hit the link below for the Discord and we can chat about it there as well. Anyways, hit that like button, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you guys later.